सबसे पहले देखो, the first thing that we need to understand with permutations and combinations is the basic counting principle. How do we count? हम haphazard random counting नहीं करते. There should be a certain pattern in our counting. If we do not know how to count, all these permutations and combination tools are useless for us. So I've given you 4 letters A, B, C, and D. I want you to use all 4 of these and show me how many different arrangements you can make with all these 4 letters. जरा जल्दी से बताओ मुझे. Understand how you are supposed to count. A, B, C, and D. This is the first possible arrangement. Do not try to change everything all at once. Try to make minimum changes. The first one A, the second one B, and let's change the third one D or C ko switch karte hain. With A as the first one, B as the second one, is there any other arrangement possible? और क्या A, B, C, D and A, B, D, C के अलावा? और then let's change the second one, A, C, उसके साथ B, D and D, B. Then A, D, B, C and C, B. Is that right? With A as the first one, I have these 6 arrangements. If I keep B as the first one, will I have again 6 more arrangements? Then I kept C as the first one, I will have again 6 more arrangements. Then I kept D as the first one, I will again have 6 more arrangements or not. So how many arrangements are possible in total? 24. Now understand this thing. What are we saying? पहले पे कितनी different variations possible है? 4. First letter में there are 4 different variations possible. पहला या तो A होगा और it's B or it's D. With every of these variations, second पे कितनी different variations possible है? और से देखो 3. A के साथ second पे 3 variations, B, C and D. B के साथ second पे 3 variations, A, B, C and D. C के साथ second पे 3 variations. Is this clear? So with every of these 4 variations, there are 3 variations possible in the second slot. Is that right? And इसके साथ third position पे there are 2 different variations. So if I were to find how many different variations are there, what will I do? 4 into 3 into 2, yeah, into 1, yeah, 4 into 3 into 2. All of this can be summarized and written as 4 factorial. Is this clear or not? Understand the introduction of factorial so that you understand this entire concept. So if I were to arrange n unique elements, how many arrangements will I get? N factorial. Is that right? Is this clear? You can understand this thing. This is with unique elements. Sahi hai? Okay. Now, what is 1 factorial? 1. What is 2 factorial? 2. What is 3 factorial? 6. What is 4 factorial? Okay, what if I want to get 3 factorial from 4 factorial? Can I say 4 factorial divided by 4? 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 to 1. उसको 4 से divide कर दूं, 4 and 4 cancelled out. Am I left with 3 factorial? इसी तरह 3 factorial divided by 3 is 2 factorial. 2 factorial divided by 2 is, इसी तरह 1 factorial divided by 1 will be 0 factorial. And what should be the value of 0 factorial? 1. The value of 0 factorial is, you can use your calculator. The calculator has a factorial button in it. 0 and this factorial, it will always give you 5 and factorial. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. दोबारा बात समझो. What is 4 factorial? 24. 4 factorial divided by 4. 3 factorial. 3 factorial divided by 3. 2 factorial divided by 2. 1 factorial divided by 1. 0 factorial. The value is not 0, 0 factorial, which will be 1. And logically, sometimes we say that kuch na arrange karne, if you have to arrange nothing, this is also a 1 arrangement. If I tell you, do not make any arrangements in this room, this is 1 arrangement. 0 factorial means you have to arrange nothing. Is this clear? Clear है? Okay. Now I give you another task. पहले एक और repetition समझ लो. What if there is a word arrangement and I ask you to arrange these? If there were 11 unique elements, what would you say? 11 letters हैं, इसके 11 factorial. But are all letters unique? If I switch between these two R, do I get a different arrangement? If I switch between these two A's, do I get a different arrangement? That means I am counting something extra. Counting के हमेशा याद रखो, there are two errors in counting. Either you count something double, extra count कर लेते हैं आप इसको, और you miss out on something. कुछ चीज को count करना रह जाता. Is this clear? So इसमें we have counted extra. We have counted कि ये दो R को switch करने से it would have become a new arrangement, which is not the case. तो उसको कम करना पड़ता है, जो एक्स्ट्रा काउंटिंग है उसको रिवर्स करना पड़ता है. तो व्हाट डू वी डू? 2 फैक्टोरियल क्योंकि दो ए हमारे पास आइडेंटिकल थे, 2 फैक्टोरियल क्योंकि दो आर आइडेंटिकल हैं, 2 फैक्टोरियल क्योंकि बिकॉज वी हैव 2 e's as identical, and 2 फैक्टोरियल for 2 n's as identical. इसी तरह if I have the word banana, 6 factorial if all of them were unique, divided by 3 factorial. Why this 3 factorial? 3 identical A's, and 2 factorial, 2 N's. Is this clear or not? So if there are repetitions, this is how we count their number of arrangements. The synonym of arrangements is permutations. The synonym of arrangement is permutations, and arrangements are synonyms of each other. So if I have a code या lock मेरा जो होता है on suitcases or briefcases, we often tend to say that it will open with the right combination. Will it? No. We must say it will open with the right permutation. The order also has to be right. If it is opening with 1, 2, 3, 4, it has to be in that particular order. So the right word is not combination. The right word is permutation. Is this clear? If order matters, you call that permutation. Okay, now another task. A, B, C, D, E. I want you to make combination of 3 letters from these 5. Now, what is a combination? A, B, C is a single combination no matter what order you consider it in. So once you have counted A, B, C, you must not consider the same combination again. Can you write down all possible combinations of 3 from these 5? A, B, C एक हो सकता है, A, B, D हो सकता है. Count all possible combinations of 3 from these 5. Understand one thing, these are 5 unique elements and you're trying to make combinations of 3. So that can be ABC, ABD, ABE, then ACD, ACE, then ADE, then BCD, because A, B और C बन चुका है मेरे पास, I do not need to make it again. BCE and BD and then CD. These are the 10 combinations that you can make. कौन सा वाला you people have missed out on? तो दोबारा देख लो guys, that we've failed to count these. कौन सा वाला count नहीं हुआ? इसमें कोई identical नहीं है. All these 10 are unique. नहीं, none of them has a different arrangement. All of these are unique. किसी के arrangement का problem ही नहीं है. कौन से count नहीं किया, वही तो कह रहा हूँ. इसमें understand this thing. There is no arrangement in this. All these 10 are unique combinations. इसमें none of the two are similar with different arrangements. We cannot say that. देखो दोबारा बात. इसलिए कह रहा हूँ एक दफा you must understand this. And we can use the calculator to count it for us. 5 C3, 5 combinations of 3, and it tells us there are 10 possible combinations. Is this clear? But this only works with unique elements. Her combination ka how many arrangements were possible? If I were to arrange ABC, ABC की कितनी arrangements बनती? How did you get 6? 3 factorial, ये तीनों unique है. If I were to shuffle them, So the arrangement with ABC would have been 3 factorial. What about ABD? What about ABE? So 3 factorial with every possible combination. So if I were to find all possible permutations, how would I do so? 5C3 multiplied by 3 factorial. So I'll get 60 permutations. And this can also be done directly. 5 P multiplied to P permutations of 3, which will be 60. Understand the difference between permutation and combination. And we can say that if I take combinations NCR and I multiply it by R factorial, I will get NPR, the number of permutations. But be very clear, all of this works with unique elements. All these counting techniques work with unique elements. If elements are not unique, we need to figure out other ways. Is this clear? Fair? Let's have a look at this question. Find the number of ways in which all 12 letters of the word refrigerator can be arranged if there are no restrictions. How many letters are there for the word refrigerator? 12. 12 factorial. But are all 12 unique? Very good. We'll divide it by the repeated ones. Do it. लिखो, लिख के करके बताओ. Calculator should be the last thing that you use because it will hardly take 5 to 10 seconds. The remaining time should be spent in reading, comprehending the question, writing down the step, because calculator usage will only take 5 to 10 seconds to give you the right answer. If the R's must all be together, how do we understand such questions? Let me write down all the letters. R's must all be together. R, 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 R. 4 R's. E. क्या क्या बचा जरा बताओ मुझे. E, F, I, G, A, P, O. Is that right? एक और ही होगा. Is that right? So these are what I need to arrange. And the question said that all R's must be together. So चारों R को मिलाकर एक single element बना लेते हैं. And this is what we are supposed to move. I told you visualize के जो magnets होते हैं ना, जो fridge पे लगे होते हैं, visualize कि you have such letters in your hand and they are the ones you are supposed to arrange. आप इनको आगे पीछे घुमा रहे हैं. तो अब ये पूरे R का 4 का set है which will move all at once. So how many elements do you need to move now? ये चारों R का एक set हो गया. We are left with the remaining 8 and ये पूरा R का single set भी तो move होगा. So how many elements are we supposed to move now? 9 factorial. But are all these 9 unique? दो ही आ रहे हैं. In 9 में भी दो ही आ रहे हैं. So divide by 2 factorial. One thing I must ask you, if I shuffle these R's, will I get a new arrangement? Think about it. अगर मैं कहूँ ये वाले R को उठा के one of these R's, if I shuffle them, will I get a new arrangement? No. So I do not need to count the shuffling of these R's. Sometimes we need to do that. So first write it down. This will be 9 factorial upon 2 factorial. Is this clear? 9 factorial upon. You must tell me the value. I've left the answer like this, but you must find out the value and write that value down. 181440. Say. Now read the second part. How many different selections of 4 letters from the 12 letters of the word refrigerator contain no R's and, remember now we are selecting, no R's and 2 E's. The question says R's are no more an option. You have selected the two E's and you had to select 4 letters. That means A B option nahi hai. I am left with 6 possible options. सोचना नहीं गलत ये तो है सोचो. I am left with 6 possible options. Is that right? Are all 6 unique? And in 6 में से what do I need to do? 4 नहीं select करने. I had to select 4, but out of those 4, I have already selected the 2 E's. I need to select 2 more out of the 6. That means I can select FI, FG, FA, FT, FO, IG, IA, IT, IO, then GA, GT, GO, then AT, AO, and then TO. Is that right? इस सब का एक आसान तरीका we have just learned. 6 C 2. 6 में से combinations of 2, but provided the fact that all 6 of those are unique. Is this clear? What is 6C2? 15. So total there are 15 possible selections. Is this clear? Make sense? Okay, now moving on to the next question. Next question is on page 2, I guess. Page 1 या 2 पर है. Please read the question thoroughly before moving on. Page 1 पे, I guess, right? Page 1, question number 5. The digits of the numbers 1, 2, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 can be arranged to give many different 7-digit numbers. Find how many different 7-digit numbers can be made if there are no restrictions on the order of the digits. In सातों के सातों का आपस में shuffle करना है. Is that right? So, how many arrangements are possible? Why 2 factorial? The two 2's are not the same. They're not unique. So 7 factorial upon 2 factorial. Now, what does the question say? 1, 3, 7 in any order are next to each other. So what were the numbers? Can you tell me the numbers? Pehle to I'll write 1, 3, 7. 1, 3, 7. And the rest of the numbers were 2, 2, 6, and 8. Now, this entire set of 1, 3, 7 has to move at once. So, pehle, let's imagine that I keep 1, 3, 7 as it is. And this entire set will move now. How many different elements do I have to move? 5 factorial 2. Are there any repetitions in them? 2. So 5 factorial upon 2 factorial. But isma I have not shuffled 1, 3, 7 till now. What if I start shuffling them? With every single of these shuffle, मुझे दोबारा 5 factorial upon 2 factorial करना पड़ेगा या नहीं करना पड़ेगा? I'll have to do it again. अगर for example 137 को मैं 317 करता हूँ, then again 5 factorial upon 2 factorial, फिर 731 करता हूँ, then again 5 factorial upon 2 factorial. So you must ask sir इनकी आपस की shuffling कितनी है? 3 factorial. So I should just multiply 3 factorial by 5 factorial upon 2 factorial to get my total numbers that I can make. Clear है नहीं है? अगर 137 as it is रहा and then 2268 टोटल कितने एलिमेंट्स हैं जो मुझे मूव करने हैं? और उनमें से 2 रिपीट हो रहा है. 5 factorial upon 2 factorial. That gives you a number. Tell me the number that it gives you. 5 factorial upon 2 factorial. What is that number? There are 60 numbers that I can form with 137. They are next to each other and in the same order. What if I change this order and I write 173? Again 60 numbers. Then 317. Then again 60 numbers. Then 731. Again 60 numbers. So you must ask, sir, इनकी आपस की shuffling कितनी possible है? 3 factorial. And you multiply it with the total numbers that you have already formed. 5 factorial upon 2 factorial will multiply by 3 factorial to give you all possible numbers. Is this clear, class? Now the question is asking us these 7-digit numbers are even. How do we make an even number? Very good. एंड में इवन डिजिट होना चाहिए. What digit is possible at the end? 2, 6 and 8. What if I keep 2 at the end? How many digits do I need to arrange now? मैंने एक 2 को उठा के एंड पे रख दिया. How many digits do I need to arrange now? 6. Are all these 6 unique? Think and respond. Very good. 1, 2 is fit at the end. बाकी जो 6 बचे हैं वो यूनिक है. इनकी arrangements, how do I count all their 6 factorial? Okay, now what if I would have kept 6 at the end? 6 factorial upon 2 factorial. Why? बीच में दो 2s आ रहे हैं. What if I would have kept 8 at the end? So I add all of these to tell me all possible even numbers that I can get. Write it down and then use your calculator. Over usage of calculator is a very common cause of the loss of marks in this topic. मजा आ गया? So you must get 14, 40 total 7-digit even numbers. Remember the totally all the total numbers that you could have found 7-digit numbers were 2520. So if any of your answer is greater than 2520, that was not possible. Total 7-digit numbers ही 2520 बन रहे थे. You cannot get more than this number. Is this clear? So if you have made a calculator putting error, so you can verify it with this answer. Is this clear? Okay, now read this question. कौन सा पेज है? Page number 6, question number 5. A committee of 5 people is to be chosen from 6 men and 4 women. Are all of them unique? Obviously, every man is unique and every woman is unique. In how many ways can this be done? If there must be 3 men and 2 women on the committee. Well, to understand this thing, for example, if there are 6 men and I call them M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, and M6. If one of you selects M1, M2, and M3, and the other one selects M3, M2, and M1, are these 2 different committees or the same committee? So that means order does not matter in this one. You must be very careful. You do not use a permutation or factorial in this one. Is this clear? You'll only be using combinations. Clear? So what do I need to do? 6 में से कितनों का combination बनाना out of the 6 men? 6C3 Y plus. यही तो सोचना है. नहीं, understand this thing. For example, मैं women का combination same रखता हूँ. W1 and W2. I do not change that. Men के कितने combinations बन रहे हैं? 6C3 करो. Tell me 6C3. 20. So you are getting 20 different committees of men if you do not change the women. What if I just make one change in the women? मैं W1 और W3 ले लेता हूँ. Then again 20. Then W1 and W4 ले लेता हूँ. Then again 20. Women के आपस में combinations कितने possible हैं? 4C2. With every of those combinations, men के फिर वो 20, 20, 20 possible है या नहीं है? So should you add them or you should multiply them? Multiply them. बिल्कुल वो तो काउंट कर लिया ना, वो तो 6C3 आ रहा है. Men के all possible combinations are 6C3. With every of those combinations, women का every other combination is possible or not? Men के कितने combinations आ रहे हैं? 4C2 करो. 6. Women में तो 4 में से 2 लेनी है ना. Women 4C2. Men 6C3. Women is 6C2. Women के 6 combination है. With every of those combinations of women, there are 20 combinations of men. पहली women के combination का 20, second के साथ फिर 20, third के साथ फिर 20, fourth के साथ फिर 20. So what should you do? You should add again and again, or you should multiply the combinations of men with the combinations of women. Understand this thing. This is a very important question. Should you add or multiply? Be very clear about it. ठीक है? All of these are counting techniques. These are easy questions. I'm telling you, these are easy questions. Difficult में बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा if you do not understand how to count. Is this clear? दोबारा men के कितने combinations possible हैं? 20. Women के with every women combination. Men के कितने possible हैं? Men, women का if I take just the first combination of women, W1, W2. Men के कितने possible हैं? W1, W3, W1, W4, then W2, W3. जो women के 6 हैं, you should have just multiplied it by 20. Is this clear or not? Now what does part 2 say? If there must be more men than women on the committee. So what can we say? 3 men and 2 women, or 4 men and 1 woman, or 5 men and you can count all these possible committees and tell me the total value. पहले लिख लो. Calculator should be the last thing that you people should use. I'm telling you, you'll find many of your colleagues who will say they have aced the statistics paper और grade क्या है सर C आ गया. क्यों सारे method marks lose हो गए? कैलकुलेटर चला के तो मेरे सारे आंसर सही थे. घर आया भी मैसेज पे चल रहा है, व्हाट्सएप पे जो मार्किंग की चल रही है, आई गॉट ऑल आंसर्स करेक्ट. बेटे ग्रेड क्या है? सी आया सर. मेथड मार्क्स ही नहीं मिले. मेथड की क्लैरिटी नहीं, पता नहीं लिखना क्या है, क्या क्या जरूरी है लिखना. You tell me. 186. There are 186 committees when you find men more than the women on the committee. Is this clear? What about the third one? There is a woman who says that, consider कर लेते हैं आप सबको कि उस woman का नाम W1 रख लेते हैं and उस man का नाम M1 रख लेते हैं. A woman says, I will not be on the committee if this man is on the committee. So what is the condition that she has put up? कि मैं इस man के साथ committee में, I won't be on the committee with this one. That means if we select that particular uncle, the auntie will no more be an option. If we select that auntie, that uncle will no more be an option. Is that right? पहले scenario बनाते हैं. What if we select the uncle? Uncle को select कर देते हैं. How many men do we still need to choose now? 2 out of 5. That particular uncle has already been selected. जिनके साथ auntie refused to be on the team. So 5C2. And how many women do I need to select? Out of 3. The moment we selected that man, the woman left the scene. She is no more an option. Is this clear or not? The woman said, "भाई ये टीम में आके मैं तो जा रही हूँ." वो ऑप्शन ही नहीं बची आपके पास. You left with 3 women to select from. What if we would have selected that woman? चले मैं आपको select कर लेते. Then the man had to leave. How many men do we need to select now? Out of 5. And how many women do we need to select now? 1 out of 3. There is another scenario when we tell both of them to leave. आप दोनों चले हैं, दोनों लड़ते हैं, दोनों साथ नहीं होते. We neither select that particular uncle nor that auntie. So how many more men do we need to select? 3 out of 5. And how many more women do we need to select? 2 out of. These are all possible committees when the women and that particular woman does not have to be with that particular man. How many committees do we get? अच्छा, total committees कितनी थी with 3 men and 2 women? 120. What if we said कि अगर दोनों को साथ रख लेते, what if both of them were together on the team? How many more men did we need to select? 2 out of 5. And how many more women? 1, because we already selected that particular woman. 1 more woman from 3. 30 तो वो टीम्स आ गई जिसमें both of them are together and total committees were 120. इसमें से we subtract the 30 and we get 90. सही है. Find in how many ways this can be done. If the captain who is a midfield player must be included. वो captain तो आपने include कर लिया and he was a midfield player. Together with one defense and one forward player. Defense में कितने लोग हैं total? 3. And out of those 3, how many do you need to select? 3C1 multiplied by forward player में से एक select करना है 5C1. 3C1 into 5C1. वही बात समझ जा रहा हूँ. With every defender you can get every forward D1, F1, D2, F2, D. तो क्या करना चाहिए? Multiply. Is this clear? If exactly one forward player must be included together with any two others. एक forward include कर दिया आपने. कौन सा forward? 5C1 together with any two others. PC1 क्यों? बाकी 6 जो बचे हैं उनमें से कोई से भी. Because the question says exactly one forward player. बाकी दो 6 में से कोई भी हो सकते हैं. डिफेंडर मिडफील्डर सबका एक लॉट बनाया. आउट ऑफ दो 6 यूनिक प्लेयर्स यू कैन गेट एनी 2. क्वेश्चन सेज एग्जैक्टली वन फॉरवर्ड प्लेयर. द क्वेश्चन डज नॉट से एटलीस्ट वन फॉरवर्ड प्लेयर. अगर ये कहता है एटलीस्ट वन फॉरवर्ड तो फिर हम वो देखते हैं उसको. क्लियर है या नहीं है? Okay, again, let's have a look at another question. Sam has 11 different CDs. पाकिस्तानी नहीं है कि वो एक ही CD दो रखे. The question specifies different CDs. 6 pop, 3 jazz, 2 classical. Yes, they belong to some certain genres, लेकिन they are all different. 6 pop, different CDs. How many different arrangements, permutations लगेंगे, of all 11 CDs on a shelf are there? If the jazz CDs are all next to each other, what do you do in such questions? सारे jazz का मिलाकर आप एक सेट बना लें. Right? The 3 jazz are taped together to form one single set. The entire set will move. कितनी CDs remain? 6 pop and 2 classical, 8. और पूरा jazz का set move करेगा. So 9 factorial. वो identical है इसमें से? No, all of them are unique. And what if I shuffle the jazz with each other? Will that give me a different arrangement? Yes. So 9 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. Very good. Is this clear now? Then Isam makes a selection of 2. Select kar raha hai. The question says so. Isam makes a selection of 2 pop music CDs, 2 jazz CDs, and 1 classical CD. How many different possible selections can be made? 2 pop music CDs from are all 6 unique. Please be careful before using C and P. Be clear about it because उसमें unique होना जरूरी है, वरना you have to make cases on your own. So 6C2 and then 3C2 and should I add them or multiply? Why? Because every 2 pop music के साथ every 2 jazz is possible and a different classical is possible. Is this clear, class?